sector. And as part of that, we are now determined to expand. Our credit rating has improved. We have, I didn't mention that in my earlier view of where we are. Well, 2025 has seen many major challenges, the most significant being from the United States. That is, in many ways, our most important relationship. But President Trump has struck blows to it in an unexpected manner. And we have to see how long this problem with Trump lasts. But what is important is that we have effectively weathered the storm in a sense that these 50% tariffs on India, which are the highest that he has imposed on any country, have not affected very materially our economy. And that is very important and that is very significant. Our growth rates have been maintained at very high levels. We are still the fastest growing global economy. Even with regard to our trade, the impact has been absorbed. Our exports have gone up. We have found other destinations for our exports. So that's a very major achievement and shows the resilience of the Indian economy and the fact that we are not export dependent, as is the case with many economies. We have a huge internal market and huge domestic consumption, and that has helped us. And going forward also, the prospects are very good according to the international financial institutions. So that, I would say, is a major achievement in terms of protecting our interests despite a severe challenge. Second is that, and that's very important, we have maintained our strategic autonomy. Despite these pressures, which I have mentioned, we received President Putin we welcomed him very warmly, showed him a lot of personal regard. And the message was very clear to the United States and others that any pressure that they might want to bear on us because of a relationship with Russia will be resisted. That we have an independent view of what our national interests are. We are not there to work against the interests of our other partners, and they must respect that we have interests independent of our relationship with them, which we will preserve because going forward they are very vital to our future. So that is a major achievement in terms of underlining our strategic autonomy. And this includes Prime Minister's visit to Tianjin in China for the SCO summit, and the gesture he made, I think, very thoughtfully by engaging in this three-way, hobnob with Putin and with Xi Jinping, which has sent a very powerful message internationally that there is an option available to India and its other partners in the face of any totally arbitrary exercise of Western hegemony. Thirdly, on the economic side again, we have signed now FTAs with the UK, which is the first we have signed with any major economy, which shows that two things. One, that we are now interested in forging these kind of trade relationships outside. They're not outside the WTO, but taking into cognizance that the WTO has been very severely damaged in its functionings, and with the fragmentation of the global economy, we have to look for other alternatives. So the FTA with the UK is very important in that regard. And we are discussing the FTA with the European Union. We were hoping that this could be finalized by January 26, when the EU's top leadership will be there for our Republic Day. But let's see if it happens or not. We signed one with Oman and with New Zealand, and some others are under discussion. This also shows that we are connecting ourselves more and more with the global economy, because we feel that we have the requisite economic strength to do that more and more, and others are interested in our market. For the rest, we have, yes, I think the other very important thing is that we have sent a very powerful message to Pakistan after Operation Sindoor, that they will no longer have a free run in terms of promoting terrorism in our country, and that we will take very severe action against them if they did that. And it was a break from the past. Remember, we had this attack in Mumbai in 2008 and we did nothing, and that was a monstrous attack. But this time, after Pahalgam, we have conveyed that enough is enough, and we have sent the signal to Pakistan. Now, whether Pakistan, under this new so-called field marshal, absorbs the message or not, we will see. But the message has gone, and this message will be read by our neighbors too. The fact that we suspended the Indus Waters Treaty sends a signal to some other countries also that if they continue to misbehave with us, and if they pose severe security challenges to us, then the kind of generosity we have shown in the past in terms of water sharing can be reversed. So I think this kind of kinetic message that we've given to Pakistan has repercussions elsewhere in our neighborhood. It's true that our tolerance levels now are not as low or as high as they used to be in the past. For the rest, we have maintained the stability of our foreign ties all around. We have participated in the G20 meeting, in the BRICS the summit. We have maintained, Prime Minister just visited 3 countries, including Ethiopia, in order to send the message that we have now, a much more, how should I say, expansive foreign policy, where we want to solidify our relationship with countries we consider are important, and with Brazil, the visit of our Prime Minister was very successful in terms of opening up new vistas of our relationship with that country, including in the defense area. And if you recall, India, Africa, South Africa, and Brazil are part of IPSA, and they are part of BRICS too. So strengthening ties with Brazil has a certain powerful element of South-South cooperation, which can yield a lot of good returns to both countries going forward, and generally will increase our profile in Latin America. The other important development is that Canada has come to its senses a little bit and they have reopened their dialogue with India, tried to normalize ties with that country. Even the trade talks are going to begin. So they took the decision for reasons one can understand, especially pressures from the United States to have more options in foreign policy terms, and decided to mend ties with India, and this is a welcome development. Australia remains an important partner, and we are now discussing the second phase of our FTA with them, a deeper, more expansive phase, which will undoubtedly yield good returns. So this is broadly the picture. With Central Asia, we are maintaining our ties With Iran, our dialogue continues, though of course it is hampered by the sanctions. Oh yes, the other important thing is that we have maintained close ties with Israel, despite all the turmoil in West Asia. We have we have decided that whatever is happening on the ground there has to be separated from our bilateral equities with Israel, and so we are in the process of further deepening our ties with Israel. So that's broadly the picture. Well, I think the elaborate answer that I gave you lists the top 5 achievements in 2025. I can summarize that by saying that the top achievement is that we have maintained our strategic autonomy. Number 2, that we have sent a signal to all our partners that we will maintain strong ties with Russia despite pressures from the West. Number 3, we have weathered the difficult situation caused by President Trump by imposing 50% tariffs on us. This has not affected materially our economy, our economic growth. The 4th achievement is precisely this, that we remain the fastest growing large economy. Our credit rating has improved. Our growth will be sustained. So we are on the path of what Prime Minister has in view, Viksit Bharat in 2047, but that's some years away, but nevertheless, we are heading in that direction. Number 5, we have, I didn't mention that in my earlier view of where we are, that we are taking the whole issue of climate change pretty seriously, and we have expanded our renewable energy sector, and as part of that, we are now determined to expand our nuclear energy sector, and we have amended, therefore, our internal legislation in that regard by opening up the private sector, opening up our nuclear energy sector to the private sector. And along with that, something which I could have mentioned earlier is our absolutely stellar performance when it comes to space. We just launched the heaviest satellite, and it's a US satellite, with our new rocket, and this is a remarkable achievement. So in these advanced sectors of the technology, we are going ahead. On artificial intelligence, if you look at the kind of commitments that the American top high-tech companies are making, billions of dollars worth of investments in data centers, this goes to show that even in this area, India is determined not to lag behind and be at the forefront of international developments with regard to the evolution of artificial intelligence and the role that it will play in all aspects of our life. And finally, it is, as I mentioned, sending a very, very clear signal to Pakistan that we will no longer tolerate terrorism directed from their soil at India. And Operation Sindoor was a very, very timely and powerful message to Pakistan. Well, I don't think that we have missed anything in our foreign policy, because we are not in control of the foreign policy of others. I mean, we can't control the irrationality of other actors or their mistaken decisions. Now, for example, if you take the situation in Bangladesh, the manner in which Sheikh Hasina had been ousted, and the Islamists there are now calling the shots, and we have a big problem there in the East. I won't call that a myth. It is, I mean, if a country decides for domestic and other reasons to actually unravel its own system in the way they have done, there's nothing much we can do except to reduce the cost of that to ourselves, which we will certainly do. Secondly, it is the 50% tariffs that Trump imposed on us, especially the 25% tariffs that he imposed on us for buying Russian oil, even as United States itself has been buying commodities from Russia, and much more importantly, where the United States is actually engaging Russia and is looking at economic cooperation with Russia. So it is so irrational on the part of Trump to maintain that 25% additional tariff on us because of Russia. But there is nothing that we can do except to reason with them and try to influence their thinking, which we are trying to do. Number three, with regard to the Ukraine conflict, even Europe has been trying to put pressure on us that given our good relations with Russia, we have a responsibility to press Russia to end the conflict. But we are just a peripheral player in this. The problem is of the European security architecture, which Europe has not been able to define ever since the Second World War. It's not our problem. How are we responsible for NATO's expansion and whatever happened in the Donbass region for many years, and the breakdown of the Minsk Accords and the Istanbul peace process? How are we responsible for that? But we've come under some kind of a pressure on that account. I won't call that again a myth. It is a fact of international life that if other countries decide to follow what we see are irrational policies or unmerited approach towards us, then we have to counter that the best we can and live with it. Now, if United States, midwives this defense agreement defense pact between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, which can be seen as a bit of a setback to us because we have our relationship with Saudi Arabia had become very strong in recent years. And now Pakistan is becoming an element in the security architecture in West Asia, even to the point of discussing the possibility of stationing their troops in Gaza as part of the international stabilization force. So if the United States still hangs on to its old, worn-out, unsuccessful policies towards Pakistan, there is nothing we can do except to wait until they discover that once again they are committing mistakes which will recoil on them. So I won't accept that we have there is any miss in that sense, because as I said, international life, especially now after Trump has come to power, even otherwise, has become very turbulent, uncertain, unstructured, and full of potential tensions and fissures. And we have to wade through that situation as best as we can. And I think we are doing reasonably well. And the proof of that, as I said in my earlier remarks, is that our economic growth is continuing. Our rise is continuing. We have embarked on economic reforms in order to make our growth, assure ourselves of our continuing growth, and achieve the vision, as I said, of Viksit Bharat by 2047.